Soviet sector in the east, one British sector in the north, one French sector in the west, and one American sector in the south. And of course, the city of Berlin was also divided into three parts, three sectors. One Soviet sector, it was Eastern Berlin, and Western Berlin was divided into three parts: French, American, and British. So, yeah. Now, how did it come to the wall now? How did they decide that? Well, in the 50s, many people in the east and in Eastern Berlin, of course, they fled to the west because the west was more prosperous, more wealthy, and more freedom than the east. And of course, through that there also developed a huge brain drain, like we call it today. It means that high skilled, high qualified people are leaving the country for other countries where they expect to get better conditions of life, higher wages, and so on. And the USA, or also their allies, they feared that through that, you can basically call it immigration crisis, they feared that there could be a war. They feared that it will reach a breaking point where the Soviet Union just says, we are going to take West Berlin to make sure no one can fled to west anymore. So basically the USA and the Soviet Union supported the wall. The Soviet Union, of course, controlled Eastern Germany at that time, and they did not want that their mighty satellite state will be weakened, and the USA supported the wall because they did not want to risk a war. So the thing is this now. Walter Ulbricht, who was the chief of the State Council of the GDR, the German Democratic Republic, or Eastern Germany at that time, said a few days before the wall was built on the 13th August 1961, no one has the right to build a wall. And it shows you how hypocritical the communist system was. So the construction of the wall started on 13th August 1961. 2 days later, You maybe know that world famous photo of a jumping soldier, Konrad Schumann. He was one of the first people who tried to flee into the West after the wall was built. And during his 1963 visit to Berlin, the then American President John F. Kennedy said that all free men live in Berlin, and I take pride in that. That's why I call myself Ich bin ein Berliner. And of course, this gave the people of Berlin hope that someday there will be a reunification and there will be no wall anymore. However, it took almost 26 years after Kennedy's famous speech until the wall was torn apart. And during that time, it of course had a devastating effect for the German people, because you can imagine that in Western Germany or Western Berlin, people had relatives in the east, and of course on the other hand, Eastern German families had relatives in Western Berlin, and they were not able to see each other. And some died, or many died, without seeing each other again, and for many families it took decades until they were finally able to see each other again. Yeah, and of course, many people, they try to escape Eastern Berlin. They fled to Western Berlin, but many were shot or were arrested. Yeah, current historians estimate that over 100 people died trying to escape to West Berlin and crossing the Berlin Wall. Yeah. Many people saw in that wall a sign of human rights violation and a symbol of the totalitarian communist system that was anti-human, anti-democratic, and so on. Yeah, but now we come to the last section, the fall of the wall. So, beginning with the year 1987, there were concerts played in Berlin, like David Hasselhoff and Bruce Springsteen and David Bowie. They all played concert there, close to the wall. Yeah, and there was a rising anti-wall sentiment, and there was of course a rising anti-communist sentiment in not only in Eastern Germany but all across Eastern Europe. Yes, and maybe you know one famous quote from the American president Ronald Reagan, who said in 1987 that Mr. Gorbachev tear down the wall. Yeah. And 2 years later it happened. And yeah, many people, however, they were scared. Could that lead to a massacre beginning in the year 1989? Because maybe you heard of that in China there were large protests on the Tiananmen Square. I think that's how it's called. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Yeah, and many people died there. And of course, the people in the eastern Germany, they feared that it could also happen here, that the government will just order to shoot at the protesters and so on. But luckily it did not happen. Many Eastern German soldiers, they rejected orders and so on, and also the will of the people was so strong that the ruling class, the communist ruling class, could not ignore that anymore. Yeah. And eventually, or not eventually, but in fact, in November 1989, the wall was torn down, and the people could see each other again, and they could travel now, and the fall of the Berlin Wall basically symbolized the fall of communism in Eastern Europe also, because also in Poland the communist government fell at that time, also in Hungary and also in Romania, where Nicolae Ceausescu was put out of power. So you can say that the year 1989 is basically the end of communism, 200 years after the French Revolution. So, yeah, one more thing is 1 year after the fall of the Berlin Wall, Eastern Germany and Western Germany reunited on the 3rd October 1990. Yeah, so that's basically all. If you want to discuss further into that topic, you can leave a comment below. If you think I said something wrong or whatever, or if I missed important things of that topic, you can also leave it in the comments below. I see you next time. Hope you liked the video and have a nice day.